Hey, how's it going?
Hey everybody, welcome to another afternoon stroll, I think is what I called it,
I like it.
where we take a walk around an open world game, this time Red Dead Redemption 2, specifically the Red Dead Redemption 2 online mode.
In lovely Saint Denis.
And yeah, we're in lovely Saint Denis. Oh, here's the statue. Who's that supposed to be?
Is there a placard on it? I don't see no placard.
I don't see it. How are we supposed to know? I don't know.
Anyway,
This is the online mode. I'm gonna move this a little closer. This is the online mode for Red Dead Redemption 2. The severely neglected. I believe they call it a dead game now.
I'm sure.
And
a Red Dead game.
There's a lot of hashtag save Red Dead Online stuff. I'm walking in this horse poop.
Sure, yeah.
Look at that.
Road apples. There you
Gross. But yeah, I love the Red Dead Redemption 2 open world.
go. Oh yeah,
So
real good.
it's
Real
it's
good.
very pretty,
Oh yeah,
very nice to look at.
Beautiful, beautiful. Need to replay some Red Dead. It's such a good game. I had played the first one a little bit recently. It still holds up.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
The original Red Dead
Remarkably.
Redemption, which I think you can still play if you get it on the Xbox. Like it's backwards compatible on Xbox right now.
It is. They found the code, or they just remade it from the ground up. I don't remember.
Yeah, that was the urban myth for the longest time, was that you can't play the original Red Dead Redemption because Rockstar lost the game code.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's actually true. It's funny if it is.
it is. It's hilarious.
I mean, then there's been instances of that happening, like in the gaming world a couple of times, so it's possible.
I still have it on 360. Purrs like a kitten. Oh yeah.
I'm surprised your 360 still works.
It's one of the aftermarket ones, the Halo 3 ones.
Okay.
So it's,
Not one of the original ones that would red ring on you?
Nope. Went through about 3 or 4 of those.
Or one of the ones like the one Josh and I had that you had to use a butter knife to get open?
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't quite design that console very well starting off.
No. It took a few generations for them to get it right, and they still didn't get it completely right.
I don't know. I think the 360, like, it goes, in terms of, like, the order of consoles that released each generation, it's like Nintendo won with the Super Nintendo over anything else at the time.
Yeah.
Then, when it got to, like, 3D, I still think that, obviously, there's a lot of really good PlayStation 1 games. A lot of my favorite games came on the PlayStation 1.
Uh-huh.
But I think the N64, like, overall, like, quality of games, even though they were less technically good, they still had the more fun games.
Oh,
like,
yeah, definitely.
All the best
Pound
games,
for pound, a better catalog.
Yeah.
Because, PlayStation ended up having a bunch of rabble on it.
Yeah.
As in addition to great games.
But then once you get to the next generation, I think it's definitely the PlayStation 2 over, like, the GameCube had good stuff and the original Xbox had good stuff.
Yeah.
But nowhere near as good
Oh
as
yeah,
the PlayStation 2.
the PlayStation 2 was a force of nature, like just with catalog and quality of games and
But then
just
you get
sheer number.
to the PlayStation 3, and it's like the complete opposite, where like the PlayStation 3 is this giant, cumbersome airplane noise-making machine that you can basically play Little Big Planet and
God of War 3.
And Metal Gear Solid 4
Yep.
on, and that's about it. Maybe if you're lucky, like Journey and Flower and stuff.
Yeah.
And then whatever old PS2 games you haven't picked up yet. But, like, the 360 had... Like, the 360's catalog in that generation is comparable to PlayStation's catalog in the PlayStation 2 generation. Like, it's got that many good games.
PS3 was essentially just left in the dust by the 360 and the Wii. The Wii was also a monster.
Yeah, people, I feel like nowadays don't really understand just how monumental the Wii was. Back that camera up a little bit. And just, like, it was everywhere. Everyone had a Wii.
Everybody, yeah.
And if you didn't have a Wii, your fucking parents had a Wii. Like, somebody in your immediate circle, you could not go to a house that did not have a Wii in it.
And they had Wii Sports. It's so ubiquitous, the Queen of England was an avid Wii bowler,
And I'm sure that there are still, to this day, many nursing homes that have tons of Wiis.
Absolutely.
And that's great.
And Kinect too. I'm sure Kinect is still.
Yeah, but see, that never really caught on. Like the whole motion controls thing as a concept. Like, I'm glad we're past that.
Yeah.
Every now and then, there's still a Switch game that tries to throw it in there.
It'll come back as VR develops. I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, VR, when it first started, was god-awful. And now, like, we have... Yeah, everything up until, like, a couple of weeks ago was looking really good for VR. But did you see, like, the MetaQuest Pro, like, the professional version, the price tag for it?
No, but I can only imagine.
It's like $1,800.
Fuck that. Fuck
when
you.
the Quest 2 is, like, $249.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane how expensive it is. And that
No,
makes
no
me,
wonder you only have like 1,000 fucking users.
Yeah, and that makes me really nervous for like how expensive. I would love because I never had the PlayStation VR for the PS4.
Yeah.
And I've seen, because I thought, that was back when the PlayStation VR was still using those really janky looking glowy wand, the glowy dildo looking things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That look like Wii
They look
attachments.
like Hitachi wands with the fucking Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now for the PlayStation VR 2 for the PS5, it's having it's just a VR headset and a regular controller, as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm worried as to how much that will cost, because I really want one.
Right.
To justify the PS5 somehow.
Oh,
because
yeah.
the PS5 at this point
Not a lot of games on it,
is kind of starting to feel a lot like the PS3 did when I had that back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like, man, I'm glad I can play Demon's Souls and, God of War and The Last of Us if I was into those franchises, but I'm not, Seaman. Attention,
Seaman.
Oh, you do it, sorry.
And longshoreman, wanted at the port of Saint Denis. Report to the office of the harbor master. Dick work is healthy work. Oh, dock work. Dock work is healthy work. Get scurvy with the best of them. Useful opportunity to learn a trade.
I love how strung out my Red Dead Redemption.
Oh my god, she
Online
looks
girl
awful,
looks.
doesn't she?
Doesn't she
Her
just
cheeks
look
are so flushed,
Yeah.
and she just looks rattled and tired, like she hasn't slept in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well, she's been standing on that hill ever since, 2021, whenever the last time I loaded the safe was.
Standing there over a year. Out in the
Even the way she walks, it looks like she's chafed. She's just everything hurts.
What fresh
Move,
hell
Agnes
is this?
has to get to her fast food, Camry.
I haven't taken
Fucking fast food.
Not quite as fast as food.
And more like ass food.
Ass food, am I right? Speaking of which, I ain't
Silent Hill ass food.
fast food. I haven't taken a shit in 18
Oh
months.
fuck! I found a place.
Oh shit, you're on a place.
God damn it.
You're in the fast cannery. They're gonna can your fasts.
What do we got? Why is there a big old diamond? Sale.
Sale on horses. Okay, here we go. Buy a workhorse.
American Paint.
You don't need a horse though. You got a horse.
I can't even get a horse.
You can't even afford the damn horse.
I don't know what level I am. Nor do I care.
You only have like $44.
But I have 36 gold.
36 gold. That's a lot of gold bars.
I don't want a horse.
You must have raided the vault at
Dingo, go home.
at the Sierra Madre.
Here, let's tie him up somewhere. So
Yeah,
he
put him
doesn't-
on a post.
We don't want to leave him out in the
There he
middle
is.
of
There's a
the-
horse post
There's
right
a horse
there.
post.
There's a horse post right there.
Here, you stay right here, and I promise that I'm not gonna leave you and never come back.
I'll whistle for you eventually.
Yeah, you just stay there. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we should probably get to some news.
Yeah, there's news. We've been kind of dicking off about not doing the news.
There's news. Well, there's nothing that's really good in the news.
No, it's all bad.
Yeah. So what did you wanna start with?
We can talk about any of them. I mean, we have the two that are on seemingly opposite sides of the socio-political spectrum. You're
really talking up this dumb bullshit
Yeah,
that's happening in the gaming sphere.
That's what I wanted to do. But you got Sessler all over the fucking place.
Okay.
He's not taking any responsibility or accountability for what
It's
it
not-
proves to be a massive fuck up. Here's the thing: the people who use Comcast cable as their primary source of entertainment, I guarantee you 90% of them are not there for gaming-related content.
No.
So there's your first fucking big glaring error.
What, by doing it on Comcast?
By putting it on fucking Comcast.
You can't put that on I don't think it's Sessler's fault, and
It's not Sessler's fault, but he's not addressing it.
And unaccountable. Like I don't believe because it's owned by Comcast. Like,
yeah.
If they're going to like bring G4 back, quote unquote, and you need like if you're going to create any type of big media thing, and that having an established name that people can identify with is super important, as we've seen by the fact that there are no new IPs, just sequels. Like, you need the name G4, and if Comcast owns G4, then you have to, make a deal with them if you want that thing to work out.
Here's the thing. They have the money. They have the capital, absolutely, but there's a better partner for a better reach of your audience. Amazon, for instance. Amazon owns Twitch. G4 would probably do well on Twitch or Mixer or any of the other streaming services. Partner with fucking Discord. Partner with fucking Steam. I don't think Comcast is the right route.
No, Comcast was not the right route. It never was, but it worked the first time.
It did, because it was a different beast. It was a different animal. It was a different time. You didn't have streaming services. People couldn't pick and choose their entertainment to the capacity they can now. You can't go and find your gaming news from IGN or Kotaku or whatever the fucking Screen Rant or whatever company
Thank you.
you.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Rude.
Yeah, I was getting there.
I get like ranking IGN just because it's been an established thing.
Yeah.
But fuck Kotaku, man.
It was just ones that came to my head.
Kotaku writes the most unnecessarily inflamed and opinionated headlines just to generate like clicks and people talking about them on Twitter.
Sessler as a person
is
being blamed for the same thing, essentially.
Well, Sessler as a person has always been very, very quick to like snap back if somebody talks back to him.
And boy, is he ever fucking doing it now.
Or to block you if you like try and talk shit. Like,
so many mothers insulted.
Oh yeah, I saw that yesterday.
I'm sorry for all your Adam Sessler going to town on all your moms, fellas. Shit.
Well, good for him at his age.
Yeah. No, what the fuck else does he have left to lose? Fucking talk back, man. Like, because here's the thing. I see where he's coming from. I'm right there with him. Because I'm the kind of person, I don't take criticism.
I could see you doing the exact same thing.
It's like, no, don't you mean you don't take criticism well? No. I just don't fucking take it.
I will not take it. I will not allow you to criticize me. It will bounce off of me, and then I will grab it and smush it in my hands. And then I will shit on you.
Yeah. I criticize me. You don't have that right. Fuck you.
So yeah, Comcast, just because we never actually said what it was, Comcast shut down G4 in what is possibly like one of the shittiest ways that you can shut down a company, which is it was announced via a Deadline article from a memo that was sent from one company, like one person at the company to another, which is just fucking hard. But
would you expect anything less from the most heartless communications monopoly to have ever monopolized communications?
I would.
I would not.
I would expect less. Like, it's absolutely... Like, there are literally, like, people that, and the most infuriating fucking thing to me, really, is that this comes literally 1 month and 1 day from everybody at Future getting laid off and all those people at Fanbyte getting laid off. Mm-hmm. And it happened in the exact same way. Everybody at the company found out they were losing their jobs the same time everyone on the internet found out they were losing their jobs. And that is an absolutely disgusting, disrespectful way to treat your employees.
Oh, absolutely.
Didn't
Zoom do that way as well?
Zoom,
yeah.
Zoom has employees?
They laid a bunch of people off with basically a shitty video that got leaked at the same time as everyone else was watching it.
I don't know. That's not the circles that I am in.
Sure.
I am in the gaming circles, not the Zoom circles.
Sure.
Is Zoom circles what they're called?
Nobody games on Zoom. Why would you?
No one games on Zoom. I use Google Meet, motherfucker, because I still want Stadia back.
Oh yeah, Stadia.
Oh, and fucking when Google killed Stadia, it's the exact same goddamn thing.
Wow.
It was the exact same thing. Google just announced all of a sudden, oh hey, by the way, we're shutting this down, and did not tell the developers, did not tell the people they had publishing deals with. Every single game company that had a product on Stadia that has like people who are still playing it, like people were begging like IO Interactive and CD Projekt Red, like for their Hitman files and their Cyberpunk files, like, can we please somehow save these to a cloud and pick them up on another system, because I've got 4,000 hours in this game and I don't want to lose my progress.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's insane. That after 3 years, it's only been 3 years, and they're just like, oh, we're just gonna shut it off. And I said it in my fucking review. I said it in my goddamn review that they would do this, and then they did it. I hate being right all the time.
Yeah, isn't it a fucking burden?
It pisses me off. And it's just like one after another after another. It very much shows that the way that gaming media was kind of sold and paid for and consumed in the past is obviously like changing. And it's not just gaming media, it's kind of entertainment media as a whole.
Yeah, it's the culture as a whole, and that's just kind of going along with it, really.
Well, yeah, but there's going to have to be a switch. Like, I think what the Escapist is doing right now is really good, like how they have kind of a hybrid system where they are owned by a parent company, but a lot of their stuff comes through donations and Patreon memberships and subscription services to their site to get like stuff early and ad-free. But that is also not, like, you can't take that method and make every single company do that, because then you're going to get back into what was happening with all these streaming services where people aren't going to like let themselves be nickeled and dimed. They're not going to sit there at the end of the month and be like, okay, well, which 20 Patreon subscriptions am I going to send $1 to this month? Like, that's too much for people to keep track of. They're not going to do it. So I don't know what like the solution is really to that. Like, what's the next step in media to be able to afford itself and still like find an audience?
Yeah, because the new streaming service coming out every week just is not fucking viable.
No, it's not.
It is not.
Like, I'm really disappointed that like I had to cancel my Nebula subscription just because there's only like 3 people that I follow it for, and of those 3 people, they like collectively maybe put out 1 video a month, but usually it's like 1 every 2 or 3, and it's great. Like, I still subscribe to a couple of different Patreons for like H-Bomber Guy and Jenny Nicholson and people who it's just like they do post fun videos for patrons that I do like to see,
and your contribution is justified, but is it justified as opposed to the rest of your budget, again, just propped up against the rest of it?
Well, exactly. When it is only $1 or $2 a month, it's fine, but once it starts to stack, like, very quickly you're just like, oh, well, I can take this out, and I can take this out, and I can take this out, because at the end of the day, like, that shit doesn't matter. And there needs to be a giant shift, basically, in the way that the internet is dealt with.
In more ways than one.
Oh, yeah.
Which brings us to our next point of discussion.
Good segue.
What? Like, honestly, like, there's...
I know, let's establish the story before we go into the
racists
story.
And transphobes and homophobes working at fucking Rooster Teeth. What did you expect from a bunch of guys who just fucking put dick jokes over Halo clips? Like,
I never got the appeal of Rooster Teeth. I mentioned to you that this was a thing that was happening. I don't really have terribly much to say about it.
Yeah.
They all seem like douchebags.
They all do. If you watch Red versus Blue, yeah, it's a little funny for like 15 minutes. It's okay, all those guys you hung out with in high school playing Halo. You spent a lot of time with them, right? Playing Halo, you had a lot of fun because it was Halo. You didn't give a fuck what was being said. You didn't really think about it. Just like they would say something, and it would be like, "Oh, that's really fucked up," and then you would go back to your fucking game and not even really think about it. But you would spend hours on end with these people, would you spend more than 15 minutes with him now?
Yeah, exactly.
In the same fucking room?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So it's another issue of culture, you know. I'm sure you've played online games with people who have just said the most vile things under fire.
I'm playing an online game made by Rockstar right now. And we are doing our damnedest to avoid anybody.
So you mean to tell me an internet content creator is actually an asshole? Yeah. So
It's just depressing, is all it is, really. I'm honestly shocked that I'm not shocked. I
No.
wish I was more shocked.
You really wish you were.
I am still like deeply disappointed that in this day and age somebody can get by while being that much of a shithead for that long.
Honestly.
Because,
and especially in such a youthful industry.
Yes. I just do not understand, because I would never I don't like have a lot of people that I would consider like my employees anymore, because I'm not the boss anymore, thankfully. But I do still work with like around 200 people a day, and I could not fathom anyone saying shit like the stuff that I hear said in some of these places, and that just like being swept under the rug or pushed by, like, without someone commenting on it or taking them aside and being like, hey, what the fuck, you need to stop that shit right now. Like, I would fire somebody that day for shit like that.
Oh, for fucking sure. No tolerance.
And it's insane to me that it's clearly like not that big of an issue for so many other places.
Well, here's another thing that just like really bothers me.
And who's not?
The half-assed apology tweets. It's like, oh, there's no place for that kind of behavior here.
Oh.
Well, obviously there fucking was, because it had gone on for so fucking long.
Oh, speaking of half-ass apology tweets, I wanted to give you this nice little update from, you remember last time we were talking about Dan Allen Gaming?
Oh, yeah.
And how he pretended to be somebody else and leaked a bunch of stuff under embargo and then apologized for it on his YouTube?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he didn't delete the apology video, but he made it an unlisted video on his YouTube and is now just like carrying on as normal. In the time between our last video and now.
Oh, man. Consumers of media and voters, they all have really fucking short memories. Oh, how soon we fucking forget.
I want to go over here. Look at all these boats.
Yeah. Oh, this is where the seamen are. The seamen and the longshoremen.
I'll be a longshoreman. Catch me some seamen.
Longshore woman.
Don't gender it.
Oh, okay.
Anyone can be a
Anyone
longshoreman.
can be a longshoreman or a yeoman, longshore person.
A yo woman. Ho-start, yo woman. It's a phrase I'm glad doesn't exist anymore. Ho-start.
Ho-start. What is a ho-start?
It's just kind of like a hi. It's like an old timey fashion way of saying howdy.
Oh, okay.
Like ho-start.
Ho-start.
You know.
Ah, shamai.
That's Dark Souls.
It's Welsh.
It's also Dark Souls.
It's Welsh Souls.
You beat Elden Ring, you said, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. What ending did you get?
I did Ronnie's.
Ronnie's ending?
I did Ronnie's ending.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like maybe the most accurate for what it should be.
I mean,
like the true ending.
It completes it because Ronnie set everything into motion.
Yeah, but also there's just like so much of that game is about like celestial beings and star stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so kind of returning to that at the end is fun.
She's my #1 game waifu in that game.
Okay, that's a sentence.
It sure is. She's an intriguing character. I like her a lot.
I like this view here.
That's a good view.
All the docks.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could swim out to that riverboat.
Yeah. Speaking of #1 game waifus, Bayonetta 3!
Really trying to get your segues in, aren't you?
I've been working on them.
Yeah, Bayonetta. So that has gotten extremely complicated.
Sure has. They lowballed her, from what I understand, and then I also heard that the offer that we had initially heard about had been much higher. It went from 4,000, and then I heard 15,000, which is still a lowball offer when you consider Nintendo's distributing it and royalties. Like, So many royalties from that game. Bayonetta's in Smash Brothers, for fuck's sake. That's when you know your franchise has fucking made it officially.
Okay, but here's the counterpoint to that.
Yeah.
All right, number one, the initial thing that kind of got passed around was really skewed because of the way she phrased it.
These things tend to be.
The way that she phrased it is kind of like an insider thing. Basically, like, she would get $4,000 per session.
Okay.
Not
so, yeah.
just a straight thing of $4,000.
Okay.
And it was a number of sessions that would probably equal out to be like, what, 14, 15, 16, 18, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two is that, like, Nintendo, like, they went to, or not Nintendo, the company that makes Bayonetta,
Right,
I forget the name. They went to give her another offer, and she came back at them with, like, some six-figure deal, and they passed on it, and so they gave it to Jennifer Hale. And that's fine. Like, negotiations break down like that all the time. I do think that maybe she was being a bit disingenuous about the way that the information was being presented.
That is also a thing that I was wondering about. I was also wondering about her representation, because I imagine Jennifer Hale has much better representation.
Oh, I'm sure she's got one of some of the
Considering
best.
her repertoire and her tremendous body of work. I loved her in Mass Effect. I loved her in Overwatch. She's great. But here's the thing that brings up another point about the pay discrepancy. I don't think she's out, as good as her body of work is and everything else, I don't think she's out here making Troy Baker money.
Well, no, probably not.
Probably not. And I think that's another point that,
that's
that
depressing, honestly.
Elena wanted to bring up with her struggle.
Yeah.
You know, she may have skewed the facts a little bit, or the media outlets she reported to may have skewed the facts a little bit. Either way. But there is certainly the discrepancy, and I think she was trying to make that a part of her
I get that, and I do understand that, because, yeah, like you say, I doubt she's making Troy Baker money on stuff. But she really should be. Like, Jennifer Hale should be.
She absolutely should.
I don't know the statistics off the top of my head. I would imagine they're comparable for, like, the amount of...
That woman works.
Yeah,
Jesus
the amount
Christ.
of stuff that both of them have done, I have to say, it's like, it has to be similar.
Gotta be equal. Yeah.
But for the Bayonetta thing, you mentioned that it was, like, a massive franchise. Bayonetta, like, routinely bottom list of Nintendo game sales. Like, it is not as
Nintendo
popular.
picked it up for a reason.
Yeah. You know, you gotta something has to be at the bottom of the list.
You have to
everybody has to have a bottom.
You have to appeal to everybody, including your,
including
horny
the pervs.
fanboys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it again.
The fact that they included Bayonetta
Y'all
and
too
Smash
horny.
Brothers in the first place,
yeah, it's really questionable.
is weird. Like that's so much hornier than Nintendo games usually get.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Zero Suit Samus was about as horny as it got.
Yeah, and that's like an asexual woman in a jumpsuit that was raised by bird people. Samus is such a fucking blank slate of an emotion character. Like they tried to make her all like wounded and haunted and like daddy issues and what was it, Other M,
stoic and badass.
And it's just like, what are you doing? This woman doesn't even know humans, probably. I just don't understand why people get so fucking weird about game characters. What is this?
Is that a Halloweeny thing?
Probably.
It's a skull on it.
Takeover series matchmaking. No, we're not doing that.
Man, we're not making any matches
Not
right
matchmaking.
now. We're just taking a stroll. We're not putting anything else on ourselves than that.
I love the look of the trees in the nighttime.
Oh yeah, this game is so fucking beautiful.
It's absolutely ridiculous how
Yeah.
pretty this game is still. I mean, this is what, 4 years old now?
Yeah.
Look at that tree shaking in the wind. I want to paint that.
Yeah. That's fantastic. With the porch lights and everything? That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, take a screenshot of that and paint it. There you go.
No, I'm not good at buildings yet.
Oh, okay.
One day. I would like to, like this one right here. It's great radio. The viewers can't see. I'll put an image up on the screen. This painting right here that I did, the idea that I had going into it was I was like, all right, well, what if Bob Ross tried to paint, like, the Surface 2 level from GoldenEye?
Okay.
So, it's the one where you're back on the snow above the bunker, but it's got the red sky, the trees in the background that's making, like, the border, and the little bunkers that are kind of spaced out around the field.
Oh, yeah.
So that's that.
Okay.
And then I thought, it could be fun to do, like, a series of, landscapey style paintings, but from video game So you could do like the step in Pathologic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that would be neat.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like the woods of Red Dead or something.
Oh, you can probably get a bunch of stuff for Pathologic, like the fucking polyhedron would be fun to paint.
I disagree. I think something like that with that many sharp angles and straight lines would be incredibly difficult. It would be easy to paint in Microsoft Paint.
Sure. Sure.
I could MS paint the fuck out of the polyhedron. But I don't know about freehand. Well,
I mean, you can use tools. You can use like a trowel or like a sheet of paper. They'll use an edge against like a card stock, index card or something.
it's okay. You can just say you don't know how to paint. You don't have to.
I don't know how to paint. I'm just spitballing over here. It's what I would do. Like somebody who doesn't, who makes all his art on a fucking computer and loosely calls it art.
Collages.
Fancy collages.
Speaking
with
of
a
that,
bunch of filters.
where have your collages been lately?
I've been really busy with my children. My children take up a lot of my fucking time.
Yeah.
If you notice, I don't really respond that much in the group chats anymore. I'm hyper focused on dadding, which I guess most dads should be, if not all of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to focus on them as much as you can. I do think it is very important that you take time to yourself.
That's why I'm over here. You said it last week. I need to get out more.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Yeah. Everybody needs to get out more. I mean, myself included.
Touch grass.
Touch grass, everybody.
Touch grass and kiss ass.
Kiss ass.
Hours. Kiss hours. Get the fuck out of here. I gotta leave.
All right, now look, it's I had a whole thing planned.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it looks like our afternoon stroll has come to an end. The sun is set, the moon is up, and I think we've all learned a lot today. I don't really have a thing. I just...
Now you can kiss our ass.
Yo te traigo esta bomba puertorriqueña.